Hey, what's up guys? Today I'll recap a supernatural horror, mystery drama, and thriller film, The Skeleton Key. Get ready for some major spoilers, so keep your eyes peeled and stay safe. The movie starts with Caroline, a young hospice worker who feels lost and unhappy. She's been through a lot because her father passed away alone while she was away, chasing her dreams with a traveling rock band. Caroline feels really guilty about not being there for him. That's why she decides to dedicate her life to helping others in their time of need. As Caroline takes on her new job, she meets some strange and mysterious people. This is where the real adventure begins, as she uncovers dark secrets that will change everything. Caroline faces a hard moment when she realizes that the same kind of neglect she showed her father is happening to her patients. After one of her patients passes away, no one from his family even cares to come and collect his things. This really hits her hard because it reminds her of her own regrets. Then, Caroline finds something even more upsetting. She discovers boxes filled with the belongings of other patients who have also died, just tossed away in a dumpster like they don't matter at all. This is the last straw for her. Feeling overwhelmed and frustrated, Caroline decides to quit her job at the hospice. Determined to make a change, she sets out to find a new job as a personal care assistant. Caroline wants to help people in a way that truly makes a difference, and she won't let anyone's belongings end up as trash again. Caroline makes an important phone call to a lawyer named Luke. He listens to her and quickly sets up an interview with a family who needs help. Excited yet nervous, Caroline drives to a big old mansion deep in the heart of New Orleans, right next to a spooky bayou swamp. This place looks mysterious, and she wonders what it will be like to work there. When she arrives, she meets the family she might work for. Caroline learns that she will be caring for Ben Devereaux, who seems to have had a stroke and needs extra help. His wife, Violet, isn't very friendly at first. She looks at Caroline with a lot of distrust, but Luke, the lawyer, steps in and tries to make things better, encouraging Caroline to take the job. Caroline finds herself drawn to Ben's condition and feels that she can really help him. So, after thinking it over, she accepts the job and moves into the big mansion. Little does she know, this new job will lead her into a world of secrets and surprises. As Caroline makes her way to the mansion, she stops at a rural gas station to fill up her car. While she's there, she can't help but notice some really odd things about the place. The gas station looks old and worn down, like it hasn't been taken care of in a long time. One of the most unusual sights is a line of bright red dust that stretches across the doorway, almost like a strange welcome mat. Curious, Caroline wonders what it could mean. Inside the station, she sees the owners have decorated with animal bones and other creepy charms hanging on the walls. The whole place gives her a weird feeling, as if it's hiding secrets of its own. Caroline can't shake the thought that something strange is going on, but she pushes those feelings aside and continues on her journey to the mansion. Little does she know, the mysteries she's about to face are just beginning. Once Caroline settles into the mansion, she starts to notice something very strange. All the mirrors in the house are missing, and it looks like they were taken down not too long ago. When Caroline asks about them, Violet warns her that it was her choice to remove the mirrors and she must not put them back up. Violet then hands Caroline a special skeleton key that is supposed to open every door in the huge mansion. Feeling excited about her new job, Caroline thinks this key will help her explore the house. However, while checking out the attic, she discovers a small door that the skeleton key cannot unlock. This makes her very curious, especially since she heard that Ben had his stroke in the attic. When Caroline questions Violet about this mysterious little room, Violet tells her that she has never been inside because she couldn't unlock it. This only deepens Caroline's interest, and she can't help but wonder what secrets might be hidden behind that door. From the very beginning, Caroline is alarmed by Ben's condition. He doesn't look like a regular stroke victim. Instead, he seems to be paralyzed in a way that confuses her. Violet has Caroline give Ben strange remedies at certain times, but when they are alone, Ben tries to communicate with her, as if he wants to warn her that he is in danger. One night, Caroline makes a shocking discovery. Ben has somehow climbed out onto the roof through his bedroom window. When he falls a short distance to the ground, she rushes outside to help him. While retrieving Ben's wheelchair, Caroline notices something written on his bed sheets that makes her heart race. "Help me," spelled out with dirt from a potted plant. Worried and scared, she quickly hides the bed sheet so Violet won't see it. When she returns with the wheelchair, she asks Violet to call a doctor for Ben, but Violet flatly refuses. This only adds to Caroline's concern, and she realizes that something very wrong is happening in the mansion. Determined to uncover the truth, she knows she must be careful and find a way to to help Ben. After some time, Caroline finally discovers how to unlock the mysterious attic room. As she steps inside, she is shocked to find a large collection of strange items that look like they're meant for magic. Among the clutter, she also uncovers all the missing mirrors from the house. Feeling a bit rebellious, Caroline decides to hang one of the mirrors in Ben's room, but when Violet sees it, she looks absolutely horrified. Caroline wonders why this seems to upset Violet so much. To learn more about the magic she's stumbled upon, Caroline reaches out to her friend and former roommate Jill. Jill explains that this type of magic is called hoodoo, which is different from voodoo because it isn't connected to any religion. She tells Caroline that hoodoo only has power over those who believe in it. If you don't believe, its spells can't hurt you. This information gives Caroline a spark of hope. Maybe if she stays strong and believes in herself, she can help Ben and uncover the truth about what's really going on in the mansion. After exploring the secret attic room again, Caroline discovers a mysterious vinyl record labeled The Conjure of Sacrifice. Feeling a mix of curiosity and excitement, she decides to take it back to her apartment to listen to it in private. Once she gets home, she carefully places the record on her turntable and starts it spinning. As the needle touches the record, Caroline hears a deep, powerful voice. It's Papa Justify reciting an ancient incantation. The words flow out like a haunting melody, filling the room with an eerie energy. Caroline feels both intrigued and uneasy as she listens closely, wondering what kind of magic is hidden in these words. With each line, she can sense that this recording is more than just a song. It could hold the key to understanding the strange happenings in the mansion. Caroline knows she must be cautious, but is determined to uncover the truth about the magic surrounding her and Ben. Later, after a heated confrontation about all the strange things happening in the mansion, Violet finally decides to share the dark history of the house with Caroline. She explains that many years ago, the mansion belonged to wealthy white owners who held extravagant parties, but during one of these celebrations, two servants, Papa Justify and Mama Cecile, faced a terrible fate. Violet reveals that they were brutally attacked and lynched right in front of many powerful guests. This shocking truth makes Caroline's heart ache. Papa Justify and Mama Cecile were known for their knowledge of hoodoo, and Justify had even discovered a powerful spell called the Conjure of Sacrifice. Tragically, they were found in the attic performing a magic ritual with the two small children of the house. When the guests learned what was happening, they acted in rage and dragged Justify and Cecile outside. Violet explains that they were hanged from a tree and their bodies were burned. As Caroline listens to Violet's story, she feels a chill run down her spine. Violet tells Caroline that she removed all the mirrors from the walls because, in the mirrors, you can see the spirits of Justify and Cecile. This revelation leaves Caroline feeling more determined than ever to uncover the truth and help Ben escape from the mansion's haunted past. Eager to see if Violet's story is true, Caroline decides to test it out with her small compact mirror while she is bathing Ben. She holds the mirror up to his face, hoping to learn more about his condition. When Ben looks into the glass, his face goes pale with fear. This reaction makes Caroline realize that Ben might actually believe in Violet's superstitions. Feeling determined to help, Caroline remembers a woman her friend Jill told her about, a mysterious lady who sells magic items from the back of a public laundromat. Caroline quickly makes her way to the laundromat, her heart racing with hope. When she meets the woman, she describes Ben's strange situation. The woman listens carefully and then hands Caroline a special spell designed to reverse any hex that may have been placed on him. With renewed hope, Caroline hurries back to the mansion, ready to enact the spell. As she performs the magic, something amazing happens. Ben starts to speak to her, begging for her help, but just as Caroline feels a surge of excitement, Violet suddenly bursts in, interrupting their moment and threatening to ruin everything. Caroline knows she must be quick to find a way to protect Ben and uncover the truth before it's too late. Feeling worried and confused, Caroline decides to share her suspicions with Luke. She explains her theories about the strange magic in the mansion, hoping he will take her seriously. Luke listens and seems to accept her ideas, but he doesn't look as concerned as she feels. When Caroline tries to show him the bed sheets where Ben had written "Help me," she's shocked to find that the message has disappeared. This makes her heart sink even further. Determined to find answers, she takes Luke to the gas station where she had seen the strange magic items before. As they arrive, Caroline notices the red brick dust sprinkled across the doorway. She remembers learning that this dust is meant to keep enemies away. Her mind races with questions as she realizes how everything is connected. In one of the run-down shacks behind the gas station, Caroline finds an old woman who is listening to vinyl records, just like the ones she found in the Devereaux's attic. With a mix of hope and fear, Caroline asks the woman if she has ever heard of a record called The Conjure of Sacrifice. The old woman's reaction is immediate and filled with horror. This reaction sends chills down Caroline's spine, making her realize that she may be on the brink of uncovering something truly dangerous. Caroline becomes more and more convinced that Violet has cast a spell on Ben, and she realizes that the only way to break the spell is to get Ben Ben far away from the mansion. Determined to help him, Caroline comes up with a daring plan. She decides to drug Violet and sneak Ben away, but things don't go as smoothly as she hopes. Just as she is about to put her plan into action, Violet figures out what Caroline is up to. In a frantic moment, Caroline interrupts Violet before she can draw a magic circle around herself, causing Violet to suddenly pass out. With a burst of hope, Caroline grabs Ben and rushes to escape in her car. However, Violet isn't done yet. She wakes up and begins chanting powerful spells that create a barrier, stopping the car from breaking through the locked gates of the house. As Caroline watches in fear, Violet steps out of the house holding a shotgun, making it clear that she is not going to let them go easily. In a hurry, Caroline finds a tool shed and hides Ben inside, promising him that she will come back for him. Then, with a racing heart, she makes her escape through the swamp in a small rowboat. Once she reaches the other side, Caroline manages to hitch a ride back to New Orleans. When she arrives at Luke's apartment, she hopes he can help her. Just as she walks in, Luke receives a phone call from Violet. Taking advantage of the distraction, Caroline quickly searches through Luke's desk. To her surprise, she discovers a skeleton key that belongs to the mansion, along with some mysterious items from the secret room in the attic. But just as she begins to piece everything together, Luke unexpectedly appears behind her, and in a shocking twist, he grabs her and strangles her until she goes unconscious. When Caroline finally wakes up again, she finds herself tied up and unable to speak, while Luke is driving her back to the Devereaux mansion. Fear grips her as she realizes what is happening. When they arrive, Violet is waiting for them and warns Luke not to scratch her up any more than she already is. In a panic, Caroline is forced to tell them where she hid Ben, but as Violet leaves to find him, Caroline sees her chance. She breaks free from Luke and rushes into her bedroom. Quickly, she spreads red brick dust across the doorway. This dust is supposed to protect her, and she hopes it will keep Luke away. Using a jar of red brick dust, Caroline seals off all the doorways, blocking Luke's attempts to reach her. However, Violet suddenly appears and, in a fit of rage, smashes the jar. A fierce struggle begins on the second floor of the mansion. In a moment of desperation, Caroline manages to hurl Violet over the banister. Violet falls and breaks her legs, but Caroline knows she can't stop now. With trembling hands, Caroline quickly dials 911 to call the police. Right after that, she calls her friend Jill, crying for help and explaining that she is in serious trouble at the Devereaux mansion. But just when she thinks she's safe, Violet somehow drags herself back upstairs and cuts the phone cord, leaving Caroline feeling more trapped than ever. Feeling trapped in the mansion and unable to escape because of Luke, Caroline decides to run up to the attic. With her heart racing, she remembers a plan. Using a schematic she grabbed from Violet, Caroline draws a magic circle around herself. This circle is made with sulfur, chalk, blood, and even some of her hair. This special circle is where the conjure of sacrifice is meant to happen. Just as Caroline finishes her circle, Violet drags herself into the attic. Caroline feels a moment of relief, thinking she is safe inside the circle, but Violet's voice cuts through the air, chilling her. "Who did you get that spell from, Caroline? Wasn't it me?" Caroline starts to realize that maybe they wanted her to make this circle after all. In a surprising twist, Violet pulls out a full-length mirror and moves closer to Caroline with it. Caroline's fear grows, and she starts shouting, "You can't hurt me! I don't believe! I don't believe!" The tension in the room builds until a powerful explosion shakes the attic, sending both Violet and Caroline crashing to the floor. The mirror shatters as it falls, sending shards everywhere, and leaving Caroline feeling more scared and confused than ever. After some time, Caroline and Violet wake up, but something is very different. Caroline feels calm and focused, speaking just like Violet did before. It's as if Violet's spirit has taken over Caroline's body. Now everything becomes clear. Violet was never really Violet at all. She was actually the spirit of Cecile, living in Violet's body. It turns out that Luke has also been taken over by Papa Justify. Ben and Violet Devereaux were simply the last people to host Cecile and Justify after they performed the conjure of sacrifice. The first victims of this strange soul switching were two children during the terrible night of the lynching. That night, the ritual allowed Justify and Cecile to switch bodies with the children, leaving the kids trapped inside the spirits of Justify and Cecile, who were then killed. From the children, Justify and Cecile managed to move to Ben and Violet. Now, with Ben and Violet being old, they set up the trap again, bringing Luke into their plan. Luke's soul is trapped in the aging body of Ben Devereaux, while Justify's spirit, which had been in Ben for years, transfers into Luke's young body. Caroline was meant to be Cecile's next host all along. This explains why Cecile, still in Violet's body, told Justify, who was in Luke's body, to not scratch her up anymore. The real challenge was to get the skeptical Caroline to believe in hoodoo magic. The movie ends with Caroline trapped in Violet Devereaux's body. She is loaded into an ambulance beside Ben, who is really Luke inside Ben's body. They are taken away to a special place for people who are very sick, both unable to speak or tell anyone what really happened to them. Jill, who got Caroline's urgent phone call, arrives just in time to see them being carried out on stretchers. Caroline, in Violet's body, watches Jill with a look of desperation, wishing she could tell her everything, but she is under a spell that keeps her from speaking. Justify and Cecile, now living in the young bodies of Caroline and Luke, send Jill along with them in the ambulance. The story ends with a feeling of mystery and sadness as they drive away, leaving behind the truth of what has happened. Which movie should we recap next? Drop your suggestions in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more movie recaps. Thanks for watching. Produced by Warner Talks. Movie Recapped.